Good morning, dear students. Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to study the editing errors. So, we shall begin shortly. Good morning, Pooja, Prajwal. Ria, good morning, Ria. Bhargavi, Tanvi, Ranvijay. Good morning to all of you. So today we shall practice a little bit of editing errors. Good morning, Neeraj. We shall practice the editing errors. Okay, so let's begin. So you tell me the body can be dash a permanent furnace. So what should be the answer? Please text me the answer. The body can be dash a permanent furnace. So what can be the answer for this? So please do text me in the chat box. Good morning, Miraj, Mridula, Akanksha. So, Ria, Pooja, all of you, please respond in the comment box. You please write the chat box. You write down the answer. Write down the answer of this particular question. Which form of verb is used after be? After, yes, Ria, thank you so much for the answer, Ria, Modula. Thank you so much. So it is a voice, passive voice structure, right? So it is a passive voice structure. Yes, thank you, Akanksha. It is a passive voice structure. So after can be, could be, might be, we must always use the third form of the verb. So it should always be considered. The body can be considered a permanent furnace. So here we should write considered. Okay. Next one, you see, we use verb 3 after be. So answer is considered. Okay. Next, the food we take in is fuel. The food we take in is fuel dash the body burns up. So it is something, it's not that difficult, but you have to find out whether it is who or which or whose or that. So please do text me your answer like the previous one. You please text me your answer. The question is whether it is that or which. That is very important to know for us, right? Whether it should be which or it should be that. So let's find out. So, dear students, uh, it is like there is an article in my on my website. So please go through this article. That is called. I shall send you the link. That is called defining a non-defining clause. Okay, defining a non-defining clause. So this is a defining clause, and always remember here after fuel there is a comma, right? So it is a defining clause. So defining clause before the I mean after the defining clause there is a comma always, so it should be which actually, okay? It's not that, so it's between defining and non-defining clause, okay? So if you study that article on my website between defining and non-defining clause, then you shall be able to understand where to use which and where to use that. Okay, so that I shall forward you. You please study this. Right now, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so in this process, about 2,500 calories dash being used every day in the body. So tell me whether it is are or is or where or was. So which should come here? In this process, about 2,500 calories dash being used every day in the body. About 2,500 calories dash being used every day in the body. First of all, you have to see that it is a process which goes on a regular basis. So if something goes on a regular basis, it will be of course in the present tense only. So we shall rule out the alternatives like where and was. Why should we rule this out? We should rule this out because it is a process which takes place on a regular basis. Now the question is whether it is are or is. So calories being plural, it should be are. So Mrudula, Ria and Akanksha, all three of you are correct. Thank you so much for your response. It should be are. It should be are. Now let's move on to the next one. So let's select this one. This will be are. Okay. The word calories being plural, we should use a plural verb after it. So the answer is are. Right? Now let's move on to the next one. Dash enough heat to bring 23 liters of water to the boiling point. Right? Dash enough heat to bring 23 liters of water to the boiling point. So is it ITS or IT apostrophe S, or it is theirs? So tell me, I am waiting for your answer of the next one. Okay. Please do answer quickly. So Mrudula and Ria say that it's IT apostrophe S. IT apostrophe S. It's enough heat to bring 23 liters of water to the boiling point. Okay, so it is correct. Okay, IT apostrophe S means it's. The sentence will start with it's, which means it is enough heat. So dear students, always remember that whenever we mean it is, it should be its, it apostrophe s. But whenever we say in the possessive form, it becomes its. Okay, but whenever we want to suggest it is, it should be it apostrophe s. It apostrophe s means it is, right? So let's move on to the next question. What dash to all this heat in the body? It is, for your information, it is also something that takes place on a regular basis. So if something takes place on a regular basis, it is the present tense, right? So what should come? Is it has happened, was happened, happens, or happened? So remember the clue that I have given to you. The clue is it is something that takes place on a regular basis. So what dash to all this heat in the body? So quickly text me. Good morning, Manasvi and Arya. Yes, Ria and Mrudula says say happens. Akanksha also very good. So it should be what happens to all this heat in the body. So why it is happens? Why not has happened or happened? Because it is a process that takes place on a regular basis. As the subject matter deals with our body, so the verb that we shall use will be simple present. So the answer is happens, right? Because it is a process that takes place on a regular basis, on an everyday basis in our body. Therefore, it should be always in the simple present tense, right? It takes place on a regular basis. That is why it is happens. Answer is happens. Now next, if there dash no temperature controls in the body, we could certainly think of ourselves as hot stuff. Okay, so here you have to see the sentence structure. See the sentence structure in the second part. We could certainly think of ourselves as hot stuff. So by examining the second part of the sentence, you shall certainly be able to understand whether it should be the present tense in the first blank, or the first part of the sentence, or it is the past tense. So you tell me, by examining the second part, you tell me what should be the answer in the first part. It should be written in the present tense or in the past tense. Please do text me your answer. So Ria, Mrudula and Arya says was. Mrudula says where. Ria and Arya say was. Okay. So we shall try to find out what is this. If there dash no temperature. Okay. Okay. So let me tell you. First of all, this will not be in the present tense. Why? Because it is an example of subjunctive mood. Okay, it's a conditional clause actually. Conditional clause. Okay, so you have to see here temperature controls. If there dash no temperature controls. So here, as you can see, temperature controls. This S. Temperature controls, see S is given here. It means temperature controls is the subject with which the verb will agree. So as temperature controls is plural, therefore it should be where. Understood? So you have to look for the subject which the verb will agree with. So temperature controls is plural, so it should be where, right? So like for example, Akanksha, Manasvi, Sanika, and initially it was Mrudula who wrote the answer as well, so they are correct. Okay, as it is a conditional sentence, therefore the verb shall always be in the simple past tense, right? So the second part of the sentence gives the hint that the sentence is conditional. Yes, the second part gives us the hint that the sentence is conditional. So it is a conditional sentence. Therefore, the verb shall always be in the simple past tense. Whether it should be was or were will depend on whether the subject that the verb will agree with, that was or were will agree with, is whether singular, it is singular or it is plural. If the subject is plural, like temperature controls is plural, temperature controls is plural, therefore the verb should always be plural. Next question. Dash, we all know that the heat of the body never goes up unless we are sick. So it's very simple. Please text me your answer. It's not at all difficult. Dash, we all know that the heat of the body never goes up unless we are sick. So is it Mrudula and Ria say that it is but. But we all know that the heat of the body never goes up unless we are sick. Yes, that is true. That is true. As this sentence is a contrast to the previous sentence, we shall use the conjunction but in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, so it is a contrast to the previous sentence. Therefore, we have to use the conjunction but in the beginning of the sentence, right? So that is why it is but. Now let's move on to the next sentence. What is the next sentence? Our body heat remains dash an average temperature of 37 degree centigrade. So our body heat remains dash an average temperature of 37 degree centigrade. Here it is just a prepositional sort of answer. So tell me what can be used here, which preposition can be used here. Our body heat remains, is it at an average temperature or on an average temperature, in an average temperature, for an average temperature? um, so what is your thing? Ria says at. Okay, what about rest of you? Bhargavi, Mrudula also say at. So it is normal temperature. So perspiration is one of the way or ways. Tell me. Perspiration is one of the dash to keep our body furnace in a nice normal temperature. Please tell me your answer quickly. Is it way or ways? So most of you have written ways, right? So perspiration is one of the ways. So one of the ways is the correct answer. Okay, dear students, you are correct. Remember that the phrase one of the is always followed by a plural noun. So the answer is ways. Okay, so phrase one of the is always followed by a plural noun, right? Like he is one of my friends. We should not say he is one of my friend. He is one of my friends. Okay, uh, like one of the books, one of the places, one of the countries, right? So one of the is always followed by the plural form of the verb. Please do remember that. Okay, next is our body temperature is dash in the brain known as temperature center. Our body temperature is dash in the brain known as temperature center. So uh, our brain is considered to be or known as the temperature center. So what should be the answer of this? Our body temperature is dash in the brain known as temperature center. So what do you think should be the answer of this? So Ria says is controlled. Akanksha and Ria both are saying controlled. Okay, very good, very good. Mudula also controlled. So our body temperature is controlled in the brain known as temperature center. Absolutely correct. We always use verb 3 after is, was, shall be, will be, can be, could be, maybe, might be, etc. Understood? We always use verb 3 after is, was, shall be, will be, can be, could be, maybe, might be. Always, please do remember. Okay. Like it is known, it was well known, or it was known, he shall be called, we will be informed, can be taught, could be collected, maybe maybe done, might be completed. So after all these verbs we use the third form of the verb. After all these helping verbs, shall be, will be, can be, could be, maybe, might be, etc. Now let's, it's all over it seems. Okay, so you have corrected everything correctly. Okay, so that's good that you were able to correct all the things. Okay, so I have another portal here, English for competitive examination. So dear students, you can always refer to this, right? You can always refer to this for the questions and all that. Okay, you can, because ultimately you have to write test in future, so you need to always refer to all this. Okay, all this you need to refer to be able to think, crack the exams, English exams. Okay, so you tell me, like we'll do just 5 today. Okay, so you tell me, we must dash help to the homeless and physically disabled people. So what should come here? Render will come, donate will come, exert will come, or contribute will come. Tell me the first one. We'll do just first 5 and then we'll wind up. Okay, So tell me quickly what should come. What should come in the next one? ठीक है आकांक्षा. I have to zoom it now, so let me see. Zoom. Yes, I have zoomed it now for you, Akanksha. Now you tell me which one should be the answer. I have zoomed the page for you. We must dash help to the homeless and physically disabled people. We must dash help to the homeless and physically disabled people. We must render, donate, exert, contribute. We must render, donate, exert, contribute. Help to the homeless and physically disabled people. So, um, Mrudula says render. Okay. Okay, nice. So Mrudula, you are absolutely correct. It should be render only. Second one, you tell me. Given below are four jumbled sentences. Select the option that gives their correct order. So tell me which one. Uh, A, B, C, D. So tell me the correct sequence. Please do tell me the answer. So which one? It seems you are not able to come up with the answer yet. So we shall go with first. Growth of population refers to the change in the number of inhabitants of a country. Right. So number C will come first. Okay. Growth of population refers to the change in the number. Right. Then B will come. This change can be expressed in two ways. Okay. Then D will come first in terms of absolute numbers, and then however the rate of population increases another important. So C, B, D, A will be the correct sequence. Okay, so C, B, D, A will be the correct sequence. Now let's move on to the next one. Select the passive form of the given sentence. Passive form of the given sentence. So what is the passive form of the given sentence? The manager keeps the work pending. The manager keeps the work pending. The work has been kept pending by the manager. The work was kept pending. The work is kept pending. The work are being kept pending by the manager. So question number 3. Which one do you think should be the answer of question number 3? Ria, Sania, all of you, Mridula, Akanksha, Manasvi, please come up with the answer. Question number 3. The manager keeps the work pending. The manager keeps the work pending. So, is it the work has been kept pending, the work was kept pending, the work is kept pending, or the work are being kept pending by the manager? So, which one should be the correct answer? Okay, so the answer will be the work is kept pending by the manager. Next, in the sentence, identify the segment which contains the grammatical error. So, question number 4 I am talking about now. In the sentence, identify the segment which contains the grammatical error. One of the boys from our school have been selected for National Badminton Championship. One of the boys from our school have been selected. So, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 have been selected is wrong, or from our school is wrong, for National Badminton Championship is wrong, or one of the boys is wrong. Which one do you think is the segment which contains the grammatical error? Mridula and Sanika says number 3. Okay, question number 4 you tell. Question number 4 you tell. I am waiting for a response of question number 4. Tell me the answer of question number 4 quickly, boys, girls. Okay, so we shall continue, dear students, tomorrow. Now the time is up. Okay, we shall continue with this. The